welcome to the Unbreakable Hearts channel. Like that?
Good morning here, YouTube people. What is going on with you all today? I'm out here freezing again. It's like 30 degrees, which is like -2 Celsius. And it's cold again, people. But, you know, usually, like especially in the summertime, if it ever rains, it always gets colder. But in this case, it got warmer before it rained. It's not nearly enough to have any snow. It was like 45 degrees, which would be like maybe 10, 12, 15, something like that, Celsius. So not nearly enough for snow, but definitely cold. And I've just been out here. I wanted to talk about nostalgia. I've been thinking about certain things in my past, and I wanted to bring you to a place in my life where I went into basic training. I joined the Army, and I went to Lawton, Oklahoma, which is Fort Sill, for basic training. And it was a really big experience for me. I actually could say that through that I had a lot of growing up to do. And I got a lot of that training firsthand. And when I got there, I was probably one of the first 8 there, and you had to stay at the reception center long enough to get a whole battalion, basically. And each platoon is probably anywhere between 30 to 50 guys. And we were in the World War II barracks. I was in Alpha 2. And I was very grateful even then, because what came after us was Delta 2. And Delta, their latrines or bathrooms or CRs or whatever you want to call them, they were outside. And in Oklahoma, it gets really cold, even colder than here sometimes. And you had to go outside to go to the platoon. Hang on one second. Okay, now the ambulance is gone. And they would have to run out into the cold, snow, whatever, and use the restroom, and we had ours inside. So my actual battalion, the World War II barracks that I was in already had latrines in them, bathrooms, and so we were actually fortunate that we didn't have to go running outside to use the bathroom. You know, that would have been real bad for me, but I was real fortunate that I didn't have that kind of situation. Anyway, I can remember, and this was through nostalgia, and I just happened to be watching some YouTube shorts of people in the service returning back home. And I had that experience myself. Both my mom and my dad and my 2 sisters, they hugged me and started crying and things like that. And it made me feel good that I felt missed and that. But yeah, I kind of felt that nostalgia once again because I actually was in that position at one time. I remember my sister telling me, I missed you so much, and this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, it really made me feel really good about that whole situation because it happens that, you know, that's the time that people can actually feel like you made an impact on them in some way, and that they actually love and care for you as they tell you that they do. Their actions are a lot more different in other cases. However, I felt like they were proud of me and that I actually made an impact by joining the Army. I was a 13 Bravo, which is howitzers, which is field artillery, and it wasn't something that I could take with me into my civilian life, but I learned a lot. And at that time, they had women in the Army, but only in certain MOSs. So you have to think back, that was 1985. So, you know, back during that time, there were women in the service, but not quite as much as there is today. And of course, they didn't feel the same way. So it was something very different. And I had something to take home with me. I also was remembering my daughter being born. Now, when it came to my older son and my youngest daughter, I didn't get an opportunity to watch them being born. But my oldest daughter and my second son, I did. But my oldest daughter was probably the most impactful because it was the first one. And I stood there the whole time and watched it. I watched her head crown. That's what they call it when the head starts coming out. And I watched the whole thing happen. And the doctor came in and he like grabbed the shoulders of her and just gave it like a tug. And she just came out like whoosh. It was like being on a water slide or something, and she just came flying out. He caught her, and then I got to cut the umbilical cord. My daughter was 4 pounds and 5 ounces. She was born 8 weeks early, and she's living today. That was through a lot of prayer, and we actually had to go through a lot during that time. She came home with a heart monitor. She actually came home the first day, and through monitoring her, she was turning blue, so I carried them back to the hospital, and she was in the hospital for a whole month, and then finally came back with us a month later. And they had a heart monitor with her. And I have told this before on another channel, but my ex-wife couldn't handle it. If you would have seen the face that she would give every time that heart monitor went off, it was really, I don't know. It was like she was watching a horror movie or something. And I knew she couldn't handle it, so I had to take the reins. I had to be the adult in the situation and actually watch over her. I watched her like a hawk. I was steadfast in that, and she recovered very quickly. She just became a normal baby, and today she's still living. She's 32 years old, and I'm very thankful to my father for her recovering as she did, and she never had any problems after that, and I'm very grateful for that. But I went through a lot of nostalgia, and I'm very grateful. So I just wanted to talk about nostalgia. A lot of people think back in the past and think about what they could have done better or what. And I really can't think of any time that I could have done much better than what I did. So I don't have those burdens on me. In most cases, I did everything that I could do. And in doing that, I'm very grateful and thankful that I have my father to thank for that. And I do thank him. Anyways, I want you to know that I love you. I love you right there. Love yourself. Love my Father God. And by all means, love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.